I'm sure that you recognize yourself in a couple of those examples, but the real question is now, how do we avoid procrastination? Well, there are a couple ways. Hello everybody, my name is Maxime, but you can call me Max. And for this week's video, we are going to talk about procrastination. The whole story behind is that I've been avoiding to film this exact video for the past 2 weeks. It's Saturday morning and the video needs to be up tomorrow morning, so I'm actually in a rush and I don't understand it because while I'm still super excited about this whole YouTube journey, I still couldn't find any motivation in doing my project or my video, which led me to the question, why am I procrastinating? So I've been reading a lot of stuff about self-development for the past few months. It's something that I'm really interested about because I think it's really important to know yourself and know how to be a better version of yourself in order to achieve whatever crazy idea that you have in the back of your head. I've put some articles in the description right below that like button that talks about procrastination and how we as person can do something about it. So based on those articles and on my short experience, here's what I can say. First, I want to say that I'm not a self-development guru or something like that. I just happen to read a lot of stuff about it and I'm sure it can bring some value to you guys. So that's why I'm making this video. But what I'm going to say must not be a reference, but just be an advice. You should not consider it as the explanation or the answer to how to never procrastinate again. So now that that is clear, we procrastinate because of the following. First, we have no clear path. It comes back to what I said in the beginning. It's the same actually for this YouTube channel. I don't know where I want this whole thing to go and what's my real goal with this. 2, we feel uncomfortable, uncertain, and we are afraid to making mistakes. I'm a shy person, okay? I don't like to be in the spotlight. Doing this YouTube thing is really the ultimate discomfort for me. I really like to do it, but I'm still struggling to talk to the camera, and I'm always afraid that I make some mistake during a video or that the video is not good enough. So it creates really a lot of discomfort and uncertainty around it, but I really like it. But it's also a reason why sometimes I don't want to film a video. 3, we are too obsessed with short achievement and recognition. Almost everybody wants to get it as quick as possible, and there is nothing wrong with that ultimately, I think. I just think that it can create a lot of insecurities over a couple of years when you had that crazy idea in your head that you are going to achieve this or make $1 million by when you're 26 and you didn't achieve anything. That whole thing can also make you procrastinate because when you're trying something and you see that it doesn't work the way that you are expecting it, well, why should you still do it? Or you will not feel the same energy as you had in the beginning. And 4, we don't know how to do it. And this one is especially true for me because I always have a rough idea of how this YouTube video is going to be. And more often than not, I find myself talking to the camera and after a couple minutes, I just don't know what to say. I don't know anymore. There's also some struggle because of the language, also because English is not my native language. It's not because I don't know the subject, because if I make a video about it, that's probably because I know the subject, but still, the words don't come out. I'm sure that you recognize yourself in a couple of those examples, but the real question is now, how do we avoid procrastination? Well, there are a couple ways. But first, we will still procrastinate in the future. Let's be honest here, we will still avoid the things that we need to do for as long as possible. But you can actually reduce the amount of time that you do procrastinate by doing the following. First thing will be, ask yourself the good questions. There are 2 simple questions to ask yourself before. The first one would be, what do I need to do? Write in detail what you need to do for that particular subject or task that you need to do. If it's something complicated, just divide it in a couple bullet points and it will for sure already help you to start the whole process of doing something. Because if you just have an idea, but you cannot explain it in a couple bullet points, then sometimes it looks like there's too much to do and then you get lost. So write down step by step what you need to do. And the second question would be, why do I need to do it? So ask yourself that question and write it also in detail about why do I need to do that specific task. And if you cannot find an answer to those 2 questions, it's probably because it's not worth your time. That's totally okay. Just be cool with it and move to the next thing. There's probably something else to do. The second thing will be, have a plan. What I mean by that is, unlike the question, why do I need to do it, which I think is more short-term oriented, having a plan is more on a long-term vision. Why am I making this whole YouTube channel? What is the end goal with this? Where do I want it to be in a couple years? And I know that this point cannot be applied to every domain, but for me, something like this YouTube channel can and should actually have a long-term vision so that personally I can know where this is all going, what is my end goal with this, what do I really want from this. Well, you get the point. We write all this so that next time that we catch ourselves procrastinating, at least we know and we realize why we need to do what we need to do. And so with that, it can only give you more motivation to do something. The third thing is stop seeing procrastination as a weakness. That's something that I'm personally really struggling with, because sometimes you do need a break. When I'm coming home after work, most of the time I'm behind my computer trying to do something, and it happens that something that I know that I can do in 20 minutes might take 2 or 3 hours just because I can't focus and I'm not 100% into the work. But still I will stay behind my computer having the feeling that I actually did something, while deep inside I know that I could have done it in 20 minutes, but I couldn't focus and I really needed a break. But still, I didn't do it because I saw it as a weakness. So don't see it as a weakness. Sometimes you do need a break. It becomes a weakness when you take a break as an excuse to not do anything. And I know it's easier said than done, because when you take a break, how do you know? I'm still struggling with it on a daily basis, because when you take a break, how do you know, like, when it's a break because you really need it, or it's a break because you don't want to do anything? But I think the answer to that question is that only time will actually tell you which is which. And deep inside, you know what the real answer is to that question. And the fourth one, and probably the most important one, is avoid distraction. So you know that feeling, right? Even if you apply the previous things that I told you, you start doing something, everything is going great, you've been working for 20 minutes now and you're really getting some work done, and then out of nowhere, you're thinking, I will just check my Instagram for 2 minutes. You know how it ends. Those 2 minutes becomes 30 minutes, and after those 30 minutes, you thought like, okay, I might watch some random YouTube videos, and you ended up wasting 1 hour of work because you got distracted 2 little minutes. So avoid distraction. Put your phone on the side, put everything on do not disturb mode, and focus. That must be the only thing that you need to focus on. So there you go. I hope that it helped you in some way. I might be doing more of these videos where we both learn something new, because I know I really get a lot of value out of it, and I hope that you guys do too. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, you can always like this video, and if you want to see more of my content, you can always subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you.